I believe we all, I believe we all had a wonderful week. All right, you're welcome. So today we will be continuing on GNA's 101, use of English, GNA's 101. So, okay, I noticed that most of us, whenever we are filling our attendance, it seems like you you did not remember your department. Okay, so far we have business informatics, we have networking and system security, and then computer software engineering. So whenever you are filling your attendance, remember to write your department very clearly, all right? Thank you so much. Okay, so while joining, feel free to fill up the attendance. We will not be wasting much of our time. And if you are still on the call and you are yet to pay your acceptance fee, do well to pay up your acceptance fee. It is when you pay your acceptance fee that we'll be able to send you your ID cards. And on your ID cards, you have your student number. So you need to pay up your acceptance fee in order to have that. Okay? Once again, you are welcome to today's class. The course title again is GNS 101. So without further waste of time, I'll be welcoming our lecturer who will be taking us on that very course in the person of Mrs. Feyisayo Odejide. You're welcome, ma. Please, you can take it off from here.
Good morning, Mercy. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for having me. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope we had a good week, and I hope you can hear me clearly. Can you all hear me clearly?
Loud and clear, ma.
Beautiful. You're welcome, everybody, to English grammar, pronunciation, and elocution. That's the second part of the course that we had 2 weeks ago. I believe we stopped at me starting tautology. So I will share my screen shortly and we will proceed. Okay. Yeah. Slides. There you are. Okay. Right. Kindly indicate if you can see my screen and then we can begin. Can you all see my screen? Mercy, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen, yes.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so we will begin with, thank you very much, everyone. We'll begin with tautology. Tautology. I want to just arrange the slide so that we can. Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry, just sorry about that. I'll in the bid to ensure that all my slides were arranged properly, I seemed to scroll down to the very end and remember to go back up. But yeah, there we have it. Tautology. Beautiful. Right. Slideshow. I'm sorry, yeah. And then yeah. Okay. So let's talk about what did I do? Oh gosh, sorry. I don't know why I'm fumbling around with my slides today. Please forgive me. I will be with you fully in about 2 seconds. Okay. Yeah, concurrent verb. Okay, lovely. Sorry about that. So let's talk about tautology. Now, what is a tautology? A tautology occurs when the same idea is repeated unnecessarily. And then, of course, you're using different words to do that. So in common everyday speech, tautology um, they can weaken the clarity of what you're trying to say, especially in formal writing or when you're speaking in public, right? So the three types of tautology we have verbal tautology and we have logical, sorry, two types. We have verbal tautology and we have logical tautology. Okay. Um, verbal tautology is, when you're using redundant words that do not add any new information to your sentence. For example, I went to see him personally. Adding the word personally is unnecessary because I already indicates and implies that you did it yourself. Okay. So you need to cut out such redundancies so that your speech is sharpened as well as your writing. Okay. So you don't say I went to see him personally. Simply say I went to see him, and that just ends it. There's no point adding unnecessary words to your sentences. Okay? So there's that. Now, in everyday language, you may not even realize how often tautology occurs, right? The common phrases like reverse back or night vigil that people use. Now, where the words back and night are completely unnecessary because, I mean, their meanings are already implied. So we're going to go through a number of examples so that, we can stop saying unless or stop using unnecessary words in our sentences. So, like I said, reverse back, and a lot of Nigerians use that tautology. And they don't even stop there. We Yoruba people then say reverse back, lo saying, you know. So we end up using four words where we need to have used one. Okay? So a better way to say it would be what? Reverse the car or drive back, but not reverse back. Okay? Another one is still yet. Still and yet. They both mean the same thing. They mean that something has not yet occurred. So, I mean, it means that at that point, we're waiting for something to still happen. In Nigeria, you hear phrases like still yet, the technician has not arrived. To use those two words is repetition. So you could either use still or you could use yet. Then we have night vigil. Our church night vigil will be holding tomorrow. Night, sorry, a vigil only happens at night. A vigil does not happen during the day. So you cannot say day vigil. Do you understand? A vigil only happens at night. So what you want to say is our church will hold a vigil tomorrow. Otherwise, you could say our church will hold a service tomorrow night. Okay? Night vigil is wrong. Then we have more better. I've heard that before. It even sounds wrong. More better even sounds wrong. Like I know that there are other ways that you could have said that word without using more better. More better just sounds like you can't speak English. My car is more better than yours. What's that? More and better already have the same similar meaning. So you can use them interchangeably. Both words are, they're comparative words. So better already means more in a particular example, right? So you don't want to say more better. You simply just want to say my car is better than yours, okay? And that ends it. Then there's also some certain. Both mean the same thing. Some and certain mean the same thing. Therefore, both words shouldn't be used. They shouldn't be used together in a sentence. Okay, at least not one after another. All right. So um, you hear things like some certain members of the committee. No, both words should not be used together. They can be used interchangeably. So you can say some members of the committee or certain members of the committee, but not some certain members. Okay. Then 10 years anniversary. 10 years anniversary. That is completely wrong. Okay. Because anniversary already indicates that it's a number of years. It's annual. Annual anniversary means years. So you don't want to, it's like you're saying 10 years, do you understand? 10 or whatever. It's anyway, 10-year anniversary is wrong. You want to say 10th anniversary, and or 10, or my wife and I are celebrating 10 years of marriage, okay? But not 10 years anniversary, 10th wedding anniversary, 10 years of marriage, okay? But not 10 years anniversary, because years is already I'm sorry, annual already means years. Years already means annual. Okay, so anniversary, 10 years, 10th anniversary, 10th, 10th, 10 years of marriage, exactly. So yeah. And then short summary. A summary is already short, okay? A summary is already short. So you do not want to say short summary, you want to say summary, okay? You want to say summary. Then this one, in my opinion, I think. What you think is already your opinion. What you think is already your opinion. Therefore, you shouldn't say, in my opinion, I think. You should either say, I think we should go a different direction, or in my opinion, we should go in a different direction, but not in my opinion, I think we should go. No, we shouldn't use the two together. I understand that a lot of people want to emphasize the things that they're saying, and that's why um they use tautologies, but you're better off not using tautologies for clarity, okay? Then please RSVP. Please RSVP is wrong, because RSVP already means responder s'il plaît, which means please respond. So if you're saying please RSVP, then it means that you're saying please respond. Why are you using please twice? It's absolutely unnecessary. It's not something that you want to use in a sentence, okay? Then first and foremost, if it's first, it's foremost, okay? If it's first, it's foremost. So you do not, I mean, it's not required that you use first and foremost in, the same sentence, okay? So you want to say firstly, or you want to just use the word foremost, okay? Foremost on my mind is, or the first thing on my mind is, first and foremost is unnecessary. It's unnecessary, okay? Then okay, somebody is asking about the word much more, or sorry, the phrase much more. Is it grammatically correct to say much more? It isn't, because they're both comparative forms of um they're both a comparative form in grammar, and therefore I know it sounds nice to say it, but you really shouldn't say much more. You should say much or you should say more at different points in time. Okay? I hope that's satisfactory. Um, the other one is close proximity. Close proximity. If it's if it's in proximity to you, then it is close to you. Okay? So you either use the word it's very close to me or it's in proximity to me, but do not use close proximity because close and proximity mean the same thing. Okay? Close and proximity mean the same thing. Then we have to quote verbatim. To quote verbatim. It's also tautologous because when you quote somebody, it means that you're saying what it is that they said verbatim. Okay? So, and verbatim means word for word. Quote also means basically word for word. All right? So the sentence was the sentence, he was my former student, can also be said to be tautologous because was and former perform the same function. So what you want to say is he is my former student or he was my student. Okay. So I hope we're putting these things down so that we remember when we speak on a daily basis that those things that we usually would say normally aren't actually correct. Okay. Now we also have see me at dash AM in the morning. If it is AM, it is morning. If it is PM, it is evening. So you want to say see me at 10 AM or see me at 10 in the morning, but not 10 AM in the morning. Same as see me at 7 p.m. or see me at 7 in the evening. Okay. So, yeah, that's also another thing to correct. And then sufficient enough. So, sufficient and enough mean the same thing. So you don't say, my God is sufficient enough for me. You say, my God is enough for me, or my God is sufficient for me. You do not say, my God is sufficient enough for me. Okay? They mean the same thing. You are allowed to use one or the other, but not both in the same phrase or sentence. Okay? And then we also have other examples like new innovation. If it's an innovation, then it is new. The evening sunset. The sun does not set in the morning; it sets in the evening. Therefore, you say sunset. Okay. We need a new hot water heater. What will the heater be heating if not hot water? So you want to say we need a new heater or a new water heater, not necessarily hot or not at all hot water heater. Okay. And then Charlie proudly told his mom that he made the scarf himself. Um, he himself already he made it. He didn't have to add the word himself in it. So I made the scarf. Okay. And then be careful, there's frozen ice on the road. No, ice already indicates that water is frozen. You do not need to add frozen to ice. Okay. I know it's true because I heard it with my own ears. You couldn't have heard it with any other person's ears. Okay. It's your ears. So I heard it. You don't have to add my own ears to it. And then she always over exaggerates. No, you don't say over exaggerate, you say exaggerate because overstating something is already exaggerating it. Okay. So yeah. And then there's also more. We have in Rome, we saw dilapidated ruins. Ruins are already dilapidated. I mean, what dilapidated and ruins basically mean the same thing. If a house is dilapidated, it's in ruins. Okay. So you don't say we saw dilapidated ruins, you say we saw the ruins. Okay. Let's order a hoagie sandwich. Hoagie and sandwich mean the exact same thing. Okay. Then Alice started her presentation with a short summary. Okay, we already talked about short summary. If it's short, then it's a summary. Okay. Um, he's always making predictions about the future. You can't make predictions about the present or the past. So it's redundant to put the word future when saying he's always making predictions. Okay. We already talked about close proximity. Um, Gobi is a very dry desert. A desert is always dry. Okay. And then of course we already talked about, in my opinion, I think. Exactly. The storm hit at 2 p.m. There's no point to add in the afternoon to that. The students will take turns one after the other. If they're taking turns, they're doing it one after the other. So just leave it as the student will take turns. Okay. Having a drug test is necessary. Is a necessary requirement for the job. Come on, necessary requirement is absolutely unnecessary. So you say it's necessary for the job, or it's a requirement for the job. Okay, you do not say necessary requirement. Okay. I have an example of and another example that people basically like to use, and it's basic essentials. I mean, that's a redundancy for want of another word or a phrase, as it were, because um the role of basic in this entire sentence, or rather phrase, as it were, it's extremely redundant. So what are essentials? Let's say, for instance, essentials are what? The fundamental or necessary items that one uses for a specific purpose, or what that is required for a specific purpose. So these are core components in um I'm trying to look for the right word. Core components in which something cannot something can function or exist, cannot function or exist. So for instance, the oxygen and water are essentials for human life, right? And so in this context, you don't want to say uh basic essential for water, because it is already the word essential is already the same meaning as basic in this context. So it's absolutely unnecessary to use that kind of tautology, as it were. So I just wanted to, bring that to light. All right. She was a dark-haired brunette. Brunette already means dark-haired, so you don't want to use words like that. I'm sorry to hear about your sad misfortune. No, misfortune is already sad. So it's a sad incident or misfortune. You don't necessarily need to use the two together. I mean, I understand again that people like to use it for emphasis, but it's absolutely unnecessary. Okay. And then the hotel room wasn't great, but it was adequate enough. I mean, adequate is good enough. You don't need to say adequate enough. Okay. So it was good enough, or it was adequate, right? Um, I loved reading Sam's autobiography of his own life. The story of your life is an autobiography, okay? Therefore, you do not need to add of his own life at the end of the word of the sentence after using autobiography, okay? Um, okay, so these are just some tautologies from famous speakers. Um, in the world, like H.W. Bush said, it's no exaggeration to say that the undecided could go one way or another. I mean, if they're undecided, then inevitably they're either going to go one way or the other. So it's absolutely unnecessary. But I mean, I believe they were trying. I mean, in the context of whatever it was that they were trying to do or say, um, that was something that they felt was necessary was necessary to say. Our nation must come together to unite. If you're coming together, then you're uniting. If you're uniting, you're coming together. There's no, it's unnecessary to use those two words together. Okay, it's deja vu all over again. If it's happening all over again, or it seems like it's happening all over again, it's deja vu. So you do not need to say deja vu all over again. Okay, they're simply going to have to score more points than the other team to win the game. I mean, come on. That how else do you win it? How else do you win if you're not going to score more points than the other two, you know? So yeah. Then with malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives to us to see. If you're having malice towards none, then it means you're having charity to all. So yeah. Um let's move on. Okay. So this is another way that we use tautologies when we do what's it called? When we abbreviate and we use acronyms. So DVD is what is I mean the D at the end of DVD already means disc, okay? So you do not need to add disc to it. The same thing as GPS. That already means same system. You do not need to add system at the end of it. HIV. A lot of people don't realize that V at the end of the HIV already means virus, so they still end up saying HIV virus. No, that's not correct. ISBN at the end already means the N at the end already means number, so you don't need to add number to it. Just like the way people say PIN number, it's a PIN. It's not required that you use the word number at the end of it because N at the end of PIN already means number. Just like RAS syndrome. No, the S at the end of the RAS already means syndrome. SARS syndrome, the same thing. UPC code, the same thing. VIN number, the same thing. ATM machine, the same thing. M at the end of machine, at the end of ATM already means machine, okay? So, in advertising, you hear things like enjoy your added bonus. If it's a bonus, it is added. You do not need to add added to it. So you say enjoy your bonus, okay? Please prepay in advance. If you're prepaying, then you're doing it in advance. So you say please prepay or please pay in advance, okay? The store is giving away free tickets. Come on, if they're giving it away, then it has to be free. So the store is giving away tickets. And then the world's greatest spokesman in the world. Now that even you, it sounds ridiculous in your ears, I'm sure. So we already know that that doesn't make any sense. Now there's something also called logical tautology. Logical tautology. Okay? And in logical tautology, it kind of makes sense, okay, to use it, even though it is still a tautology. So it happens that the statement is always true because one half, of the or of the construction must be so. Okay, so you hear words like either it will rain tomorrow or it won't rain. Now, that's a tautology, but it makes sense to use it, okay? And then Bill will win the election or he won't win the election, okay? She is brave or she is not brave. I will get into trouble or I will not get into trouble. Mary will pitch a no-hitter or she won't pitch a no-hitter, okay? So, yeah. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that less is more. So as you can see that we have reviewed some of the examples that happen in everyday English when we speak, especially in Nigeria. I'd like to just point out that a lot of these things are not necessary and it just makes your sentences more cumbersome and harder to understand for somebody who is not Nigerian. You understand? So if you're speaking to people outside the country, they'll start to wonder why you're using, two words that mean the same thing in a sentence. It's absolutely unnecessary. And then it tidies up your English and your grammar when you're speaking without tautologies. Okay, so please, my dear family, friends, brothers, and sisters, do not go around saying reverse back, feel yet, more better, and the likes, please. Okay. And do not, it's even worse when you do it in writing, because when it's said, it could be forgotten. But when you write it down, there's records of it. Okay. Now I want us to go to commonly mispronounced words by Africans. Okay? Now, it's important to note that pronunciation and syllable stress are the major things that will allow you to mispronounce or pronounce your words correctly. Okay? So, what is a syllable? What is a syllable? What is a syllable? A syllable is a word or part of a word which contains single vowel sounds, and it is a single unit of speech. Now, every word contains one syllable or more. All right? Pressing the correct syllable can change the meaning of a word or make your speech sound more natural. So we will be looking at one syllable words, for instance. We have the word pen. We have the word man, pig, cup, hat. Those are one syllable words, okay? Now, in English language, a vowel sound can be made of more than one syllable. So, for instance, we have feet, feet. We have moon. We have cake. We have, break, boat. So you see how those words sound? You see how they sound? Now, all these words contain only one vowel sound, but therefore they have a single syllable. Okay? One vowel sound, a single syllable, right? Now, a word can have also more than one syllable. So an example of that would be garden. Now, garden has two syllables. Hotel has two syllables. Consist. Can you see the way that I broke those words into two syllables? And then we have object or object, and we have focus. Okay? And then we have the three syllable words. Excuse me. We have the three syllable words. Okay, so an example of that is September, department, telephone, camera, Saturday, hamburger, vitamin. Four syllable words, we have kindergarten, information, January, American, discovery. So word stress is another thing that I'd like to talk about. Word stress. Now, word stress is the key to sounding natural in English, okay? So when a word has more than one syllable, you have to realize that not all syllables are stressed equally, okay? So an example would be accent, right? Or no. So yes, accent is one. So the syllable which is pronounced with greater force is called the stressed syllable. So you can call it the accented syllable. And in this case, the word accent means emphasis. Okay? The word accent means emphasis. An example, let me see, would be, yes, let's look at some examples here. So water, water. Now, obviously, TER is the stressed syllable, okay? So T is a stressed syllable. T is a stressed syllable, okay? Then we have people, people. Who can tell me what the stressed syllable in people is? I'd like to see it in the chat room. I'd like to see it in the chat room. What is the stressed syllable in people? What is the stressed syllable in people? I want to see it in the chat room. Okay, so I'm seeing some answers. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Some people have said PLE, some people have said PEO. Okay, majority carries the vote, right? And majority is also right. So it is it's the P that is the stress syllable. People, people. Do you hear how I've said it? People. So that's the correct way to pronounce it. People. Okay? And then we have television. Television. What is the stress syllable in television? Can I see some answers? Television. 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 Roll the word of, around in your mouth. Say it and then figure it out. What is it? Television. What is the stress syllable there? Okay. Let me see people's answers. Let me see your answers. Wow. Okay, I put it to you all that you are all wrong. It's te. That's the most stressed syllable. Te, television. Okay? Every other thing is mild. Television. Okay, let's try together. Together. I'd like to see answers in that together. Well, because the stress syllable in television was te, does not does not mean that it is the same in together. Stay together. Stay together in your mouth and try to figure it out together. Yes, Ben. Yes, Mercy. Yes, that's it. It's the second syllable is the stressed one. Okay. The second syllable is the stressed one. Yes, together. That's it. The get. Yes, exactly. All right. So we have more like potato, before, begin, and so on and so forth. Okay. Why is my slide? Okay. All right. Now, uh, yeah. Let's talk about the stress in the vowel sounds. Okay. So we have different um different stresses, okay? So we have the long E sound in certain words like see, meet, meet, heat, read, eat, key, free, leave, breathe, feet, please, sneeze, freeze, bleed, need, feel. That's how to pronounce those words with the long E. Okay? So you would say a word like, I want to see my feet. Okay? I need to sneeze. Read my book, please. Give me the key, please. They feel good when they meet. We need some heat. He eats all the meat. We need to be free. Please don't live. When I freeze, I start to sneeze. Those are long E sounds. That's how to pronounce them. You do not shorten those words. You don't say sneeze. You don't say feet. You say feet. You say sneeze. You say see. You say read. Please give. You can see that give is a short short I-M-E sound, and that's give. Give me the key, please. Okay? So that's how to pronounce those words. The short ones, the short I sound, which is the short E sound, is pronounced like this. In, is, if, sit, hit, click, spin, ill, stiff, trip, busy, minute, will, with, sister, give, listen, miss. Okay? So you say the sentences like this. Come here and sit. Shokoloko Bangoshi is my sister. If you stay, I will stay too. Try to hit that ball with your bat. We will have a very nice trip. I'm busy at this minute. They will sit with you. She will give us the bill. Stay here and listen to me. They miss the winter. Okay? Short E sounds. Sit, hit, with, will, trip, this, minutes, will, sit, with, will, bill, listen, miss, winter. Okay? Short E sounds. And then we have the short earth sound. And it goes like this. Put, full, whole, sugar, bush, book, cook, foot, good, look, could, should, would, cooking, wool, bull, cookbook, and push. Okay? That's how to pronounce those words. No mistakes. You do not pronounce the L in could, should, and would. So that was not a mistake. You do not say book. You say book. You say cook. You say foot. All right? There was no mistake there, just to clarify. So you say, let's say these words aloud. Put the book on your foot. I want to read the full book. He will pull the bull. To cook with sugar is not healthy. He could push his car. He would eat a cookie if he could. You should look at this cookbook. They said they would buy some wool. The bull pushed the bush. Okay? Then we have the ooh sound. The ooh sound. And then it goes like this. Spoon, moon, food, two, blue, shoe, two, igloo, who, mood, suit, balloon, noon, soon, clue, flew, rude, full. Okay? Now let's read these aloud. I will eat some fruit. The fool bought a new suit. They eat food with a spoon. There is no moon at noon. My right shoe is blue and my left shoe is blue too. We need more tools to finish the igloo. Who is coming soon? He's in a bad mood because of the flu, so I will bring him a balloon. She's so rude only because she has no clue what to do. Now let's look at some words that Nigerians pronounce terribly, for want of a better word. This word, pardon the way my slides, this particular slide scattered. Now this word towel is not towel. It's not towel. It's towel. In a sentence, you'd say, pass me the towel. Okay? Towel. It is not receipt. It's receipt. Okay? Receipt. The action of receiving something or the fact that it's been received. It's called receipt, not receipt. This is pronounced extempore, extempore, extempore. This is environment, environment, environment. Wi-Fi, not Wi-Fi, not Wi-Fi, not wife, Wi-Fi. Choke, not choke. The L is silent. Choke, choke. Nation, nation. Communication, communication. Education, education, not edu, education. Adjacent, adjacent, adjacent. Minor, not minor, 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 minor. Exacerbated, exacerbated, exacerbated. Social, 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 not social. not social. Social. Ecosystem, not ecosystem. 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 Ecological. Ecological. Procrastination, not procrastination. 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 Asai, not akai, asai. Flautist. So a person who plays a flute is not a fluteist, it's a flautist. Flautist. GIF, GIF, GIF. Experience, not experience. Please, people, pronounce your X's, okay? Experience, experience. Luxury, luxury, luxury. Suitable, suitable, not suitable, suitable. Schedule. Now, the Americans say schedule, it's not wrong, but the English say schedule, okay? And those are the owners of the language. So I tend to prefer to speak the way the British people, pronounce the word. So it's schedule. Director, director. Executive, executive. Endeavor, exclusively. Deposit, it is not deposit. It is not deposit. The word deposit does not exist. It is deposit, okay? Noun, verb, whatever, deposit. I want to deposit, I want to make a deposit. It is not I want to make a deposit, I want to deposit and make a deposit. No, it is I want to deposit or I'm making a deposit. All right? Deposit is a wrong pronunciation. Markets, targets, says. It is not says, it is says. Ayomiku says. Tola says. It is says. All right? Economic, economic, economic. It's not economics. No, it's economic. Exact, exact, exact. Exhaust, exhaust, exhaust. Exhibit, exhibit, or exhibit. So you can either say he's exhibiting or he wants to make an exhibit, okay? Vehicle. Mr. Dagbalu got a new vehicle. Vehicle. Come. Come. It's not come. It is not come. It's come. Baggage. Baggage. Especially. 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 Equipment. 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 Climb. It's not climb. The B is silent. Climb. Okay? Climb. Subtle. The B is silent. It's not subtle. Subtle. It's not plumber. 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 Often. The T is silent. Often. Often. Rapport. The T is silent. Please, can that person mute their mic? Thank you. Rapport. Leopard, not leopard. 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 The name is Felix, not Felix, not Felice. Felix. Esteem. Esteem. Machete, not machete. 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 Listen, not listen. Listen, not indict, not indict, indict. All right. When you accuse somebody formally of a crime, you indict them. Indict. Aisle. Aisle. As a young child, I used to call this easel. It's not easel, it's aisle. Aisle. Tombstone. 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 Anemia. Not anemia. Not anemia. 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 Athlete. Athlete. Not athlete. Athlete. Psyche. 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 Benefits. Benefits. Cool. 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 Chaos. 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 Chalet, not chalet. Chalet. All right? Chalet. Edict. 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 Okay, so let's read this passage. John, sorry, just a minute. Okay, yeah. So John met his colleague Roma on Wednesday morning in February. They were engineers. Roma was wearing simple clothes, but beautiful jewelry. Though her accessories were quite simple, she was looking gorgeous. They went to restaurants for breakfast by their vehicle. Roma ordered a pizza. John had a bowl of vegetable soup and sandwich. They went to meet their friend who's an entrepreneur. They planned a tour. Now, if I were a traditional Nigerian person and I wanted to read this, I would read it like this. John met his colleague Roma on Wednesday morning in February. They were engineers. Roma was wearing simple clothes, but beautiful jewelry. Though her accessories were quite simple, but she was looking gorgeous. They went to a restaurant for breakfast by their vehicle. Roma ordered a pizza. John had a bowl of vegetable soup and sandwich. They went to meet their friend who is an entrepreneur. They planned a tour. I know it's funny, right? Okay, so you can see the difference between the way a traditional Nigerian person would read this and how you would read this. Let's read it again. John met his colleague Roma on Wednesday morning in February. They were engineers. Roma was wearing simple clothes, but beautiful jewelry. Though her accessories were quite simple, she was looking gorgeous. They went to a restaurant for breakfast by their vehicle. Roma ordered a pizza. John had a bowl of vegetable soup and a sandwich. They went to meet their friend who was an entrepreneur. They planned for a tour. Okay? See the difference. Hear the difference, rather. Now, let's look at 150 plus most mispronounced English words in Nigeria. Who can pronounce this word for me? Somebody unmute and pronounce this word for me. Anyone? Okay, I'll tell you. It's diffuse. It's diffuse, not diffuse. Diffuse. It's not diffuser, it's a diffuser. The word is diffuse, okay? This word is it's pronounced bow. Now, this is the word that people started making a mistake in pronouncing and started saying boo before boo became a word. Okay, it's bow. However, boo has now become a word. All right? Okay. Now, this word is pronounced Venus, not Venus, not Venus, Venus, Venus. This is not lingerie or lingerie like I've heard somebody say. It's lingerie, lingerie, okay, lingerie. And this is not epitome. This is epitome, okay, epitome, not epitome, epitome. This word is not poignant, it's poignant, poignant, poignant. And this is called debris, not debris, debris, debris. Restaurant, not restaurants, restaurant, restaurant. Pizza, please, pizza, not pizza, not pizza, please, pizza, pizza. Demon, not demon.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes,
Can you
please.
hear me, please?
Can I do what?
Okay, I think we would let the students to participate. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so we would unmute the students so they can participate. Okay, we will unmute the students so they can participate in the pronunciation, and it will be more
That's fine.
interactive. I think it will be enjoyable that way as well. Okay,
Yes,
okay. We'll
that's
give
fine.
everybody
I
the
would
access
prefer.
to unmute and speak when you
All
wish.
right. All right, beautiful. Just let everybody
Roma,
raise your
please.
hand
Yeah,
when
Roma,
you
please
want to.
unmute everyone. Unmute everyone so they can easily unmute and speak.
And please raise your hands before you unmute so that we can call you to do so. Okay? Lovely. All right. Can someone pronounce this for me? Raise your hand if you wish to attempt it.
Tomb.
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 Tomb. Tomb. The B is
Tomb.
silent. You don't say tomb, you say
Tomb.
tomb. Okay?
Tomb.
Beautiful. Tomb. Yes. And can someone say this for me, please?
Chess.
Okay, this is chassis. This is chassis. This is when people talk about chassis number in the car. And I've heard a lot of people say chassis, chassis number, chassis. No, chassis. It's chassis. Okay, the last S is silent. Who can say this?
Okay.
Who can say this?
Bouquet.
No, no, no. Look at it properly. It's not the flower, not bouquet.
Oh, banquet.
Banquets, banquets, banquets. Okay, banquets. And this
Marijuana.
beautiful, it's marijuana. It's not marijuana. It's marijuana. Okay, and then this word that we are using, that we're treating. How do you pronounce this?
Pronunciation.
Beautiful.
Pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
Pronunciation. Pronunciation.
No, not pronunciation.
Pronunciation.
As it is spelled, pronunciation. Pronunciation.
Pronunciation. It's not pronunciation. Pronunciation. Okay.
None. The N-U-N is pronounced as N-U-N, none. Note that it's not spelled as pronunciation, which is N-O-U-N. It is spelled as pronunciation, N-U-N, and therefore you pronounce it that way. So you say pronounce, but you say pronunciation. Okay? Pronunciation. That's the correct pronunciation. How can I pronounce 17? That's the pronunciation. 17. 17. Okay. This word, this name, please pronounce it for me.
Joseph.
Joseph.
Oh.
Joseph. Joseph.
Joseph.
Joseph, yes.
Joseph.
And this?
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. Entrepreneur. Entrepreneur. It's not entrepreneur, it's entrepreneur. Okay?
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. Genre. Genre. Okay? Genre.
Oh.
February.
February.
February. It's not February. It's February. February. It's not February. I've heard people say February. No, it's February. It's February. February.
English is hard though.
Ah, yes, it is, isn't it? But it's also easy once you get the principle of it, okay? February. Can someone say this for me?
Mischievous.
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 Mischievous. Mischievous. Okay? It's not mischievous. There's no I before the O after the V. It's mischievous. Mischievous.
Mischievous.
This is not comfortable. It's comfortable.
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 And this is not Google. This is not Google. This is Google.
Google.
Google, yes. Google. Let's Google it. It's not let's Google it.
Google.
Let's Google it. I don't think there's another one that I don't think I have on this slide, but I will talk about it. It is what, not what's up. What's up? Okay. What's up? Not what's up. Not WhatsApp. WhatsApp. Thank you. And then we have etc. It's not etc. Abi etc. Abi, how do Nigerians say it? Etc. Oh no, it's etc. Okay, etc. etc. The hair. I know Nigerians say etc. We'll get there, Glory. Postpone, normally, salon. We'll get there. Don't worry. And this is sweet. Sweet, not sweet. 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 Okay? Like I said before, Wednesday, not Wednesday. 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 Uh-oh, what did I write in? Sorry. When I was designing my slide, something disappeared, so I can't really see. But I think this is library. Yes, library. So it's not it's not library. It's library. Let me slow it down. Let me slow it down. Library. But you do not say it that slowly. You say library. Okay? Library. Library. But that's why it sounds like we're saying library. It's not library, it's library. All right?
Library.
And then this word, Americans say either, and the British say either. I prefer to use either. Okay? Either. Either, neither. Okay? This is not status. Please, can someone say it correctly for me? It is not status.
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 Status. Oh, sir,
Status.
please, I can hear your conversation, sir. Whoever that is, please, I can hear your conversation. Can you either mute if you're not participating in the class, please? Thank you. Status, yes, it's status, okay?
Status.
Status, not status. Status. Status.
Status.
Lovely. Who can say this word? Who can say this word?
Hyperbole.
Mom, use this.
It's hyperbole. Hyperbole. Okay? Like hyperbole. Hyperbole, yes. Hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
Yes. And this word?
Boom.
Bum. Beautiful. Bum. Bum. Not bomb. Bum. B is silent. Just like comb. It's not comb. Don't comb your hair. It's comb. If you're combing through something, you're not combing through it. You know, Ajale Coco's comb was used. All right? It was Ajale Coco's comb I used. Comb. Lamb. Also, the word is lamb. It's not Mary had a little lamb. It's lamb. Lamb. Vegetable. It's not vegetable, it's vegetable. Vegetable. Victuals. 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 Can someone say this for me?
Yeah. Colony.
It's Cornell. 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 Cornell Aribagbo. Cornell. Okay?
Colonel.
Cornell, yes. And then this is waistcoat. Not waistcoat, not waistcoat. Waistcoat. Debt. Not debt.
Waistcoat.
Debt. Debt. Okay? Debt. The B, yes, the B is silent. It is debt, not debt.
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 Oh, wow.
And who can say this one? Give it a try. Nobody. Okay. Jojoba. All right? Jojoba. Jojoba. And this is pronounced chutzpah. Okay? If you see this word anywhere, it's not chutzpah, it's chutzpah. Chutzpah. Executive. Executive. Not executive. Executive. Yes, chutzpah. Executive. Please, somebody's pronounce this word for me, please.
Dessert.
Okay, so it's dessert. Dessert. Okay?
Dessert.
Dessert. Dessert. Not like, you know, the Sahara is a desert. The Sahara is a desert. When you leave somebody somewhere, you have deserted them. This is a sweet, it's dessert. Okay? So, yeah. And then plumber. Not plumber. Plumber. Dessert. Dessert. Not dessert. Dessert. Okay? And then plumber. Not plumber. 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 And this is pronounced bass. When someone sings and they use a bass voice, bass, not bass, bass. The lowest adult male singing voice is called bass. It's not called a bass guitar, it's a bass guitar, bass. And this is saloon, okay? And it is different from salon. Saloon, this is saloon. Buffet, not buffet, not buffet, buffet, okay? Buffet, buffet. Please, somebody say this, and it's not Nike. So please, someone say this.
Nike.
Nike, beautiful. Nike, Nike. Raspberry, not raspberry. Raspberry, raspberry, raspberry.
Ma, please, I want to ask a question.
Please carry on.
Concerning these words now, is it that one is just going to constantly, like, let me say, consciously sit down and start knowing how to pronounce them?
So I'm going to share the slides with you. So if you're invested enough, you will want to look at what, how all those words are pronounced. Now, when you find yourself having to use those words, you want to think through how it's pronounced, and you will falter if you don't already know it. You will falter, but you will find yourself catching yourself, every now and again that, oh no, I didn't pronounce it right. And then you make a better effort to do it, better the next time. So, but if you're invested enough, this is something you probably want to look at, every now and again to refresh and remind yourself.
Okay.
Did I give a satisfactory answer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, lovely. So this word is gigantic. Gigantic, not gigantic. Gigantic, okay? Gigantic. And this is adolescent. 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 Please, someone pronounce this for me.
Granite.
Beautiful. Granite. Not granite. Granite.
Granite.
Granite, yes.
Granite.
And this, yes, granite. And this is automobile. Okay? It's not automobile, it's automobile. This word is gross. Gross is gross, not gross. Gross. And this word is rendezvous. Okay? Not rendezvous, not Sunday rendezvous. It's rendezvous. 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 Woman. Not woman. 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 Lettuce. Not lettuce. 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 Pronounce this word for me.
Tuition.
Beautiful. Tuition. Tuition. And this? Can someone pronounce it?
Calcium.
Calcium. Calcium.
Calcium.
Lovely. Not calcium. 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 Elite. Elite. Okay? Elite. I've said this before. I'll say it again. Vehicle. Not vehicle. Vehicle. Okay? Vehicle. Miracle. Not miracle. Miracle. Not the entire G. No, it's miracle. Okay? Miracle. Oven. Not oven. Not oven. oven, oven. Luggage, luggage. College, college. Expatiate, not expatiate. Okay? It's expatiate. Expatiate, not expatiate.
But are they
Expatiate.
different?
Are they what?
Are they different? This expatiate and
There's no word like
normally
expatiate. It's
okay.
expatiate. The correct pronunciation of that word is expatiate, not expatiate. It's when
Okay.
you want to speak or write in detail about something. So you want to expatiate in a sentence. Do you understand? Expatiate a sentence.
Mhm.
Expatiate your meaning. Expatiate, not expatiate. Environment. Matrix, not matrix. Matrix. Definition. Government. Village. Village, not village. 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 Longevity. Longevity. Precious. Precious. Adobe.
I have a question.
Please carry on. Please carry on.
Please, can you pronounce the word Calcium? Cal?
C-A-L,
Yeah,
C-A-L, C-I, it's
yeah.
calcium. Calcium, not calcium. Calcium.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, did I say Adobe? Adobe, yes. And then this is myth. 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 Thumb. B is silent. Thumb. Thumb. Balloon. Balloon. Blue, blue, balloon. Chaos. Chaos. Sachet, not sachet. 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 Sachet tomatoes. Sachet water. Sachet. Key. Not que. Key. Key. Fuel. Not fuel. Fuel. And it's not filling station, it's fueling station, okay? Fueling station. Fuel.
Feel.
Yes. Girl. Girl.
Yeah.
Amoeba, not amoeba. 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 Amoeba, not amoeba. Apostle, not apostle must hear of this. So apostle. 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 Ballet. I think we all know this. Ballet. Ballet. Stipend, not stipend. 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 Please pronounce this for me. Someone please pronounce this for me.
Sword.
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 Beautiful.
A
Sword.
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 Okay, do not overemphasize your R's in English. Americans, yes, but in English, you don't say sword, you say sword. Okay? Sword. Sword. Americans are the ones that emphasize the R's by saying sword. But in English, we say sword. Okay? Listen, listen, listen. Fasten. Fasten, not fasten your seatbelt, fasten. Hasten.
That means there's no word like fasting.
No, fasting is different too. Fasting for when you fast, fasting, that's different, fasting. But fasten, when you want to fasten your seatbelt, is a different, yeah, so that's pronounced fasten. While the other one, when you fast, when you haven't eaten and then you want to, that's fasting. When you're not eating, it's fasting. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. And then hasten, not hasten. You make haste, but you hasten. Albeit. It's not albeit. It's albeit. I've heard someone say albeit before and I was a bit mortified. Albeit. Cash. Not cachet. Not cache. Cash. You want to clear your cash. Okay? Coup. We've said that before. Coupon. Coupon. Debut. 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 Divorce. 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 Juice. Not juice. Not juice. Juice. Juice, please. Juice. Local. 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 Coexist. It's not coexist, it's coexist. Coexist. Excellency. Excellency. Gadgets. Gadgets. Via. Okay? Via, not via. Via. Directed. Directed. Emergency. Emergency. Emergency, emergency, emergency. Temperature. Temperature, not temperature. Espresso. 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 Okay, this is Fauxpas. It's pronounced faux pas. It's not fox pass, it's faux pas. Faux pas. I've said towel before. Receipt, extempore. I think I mistakenly repeated a number of these. Yeah, I did. Okay. All right. I believe we've. Okay. Yes. So let's talk about homophones. What are homophones? And this is a fun one. It's a fun one. Homophones are words that sound the same but have different spellings. They sound the same, have different spellings, and even a lot of the time, different meanings. Okay? So there are some common homophones like two, TWO and TOO. TWO and TOO. They're both pronouns two. Two. Get two apples from the cabinet. Get the bananas. Two. Two. And then there, 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 and there. there, and there, okay? So an example is usually, let me see. I'm looking for an example. Okay, the store is over there. They are leaving after they get their coats. Still the same pronunciation. They're not coming to the party. Still the same pronunciation. So the three there sound the exact same way. Oh God, I think I've mixed up my slides. Please forgive me. Okay, all right. And here's what we'll do. I'm sure we'll go back to homophones. I mixed up my slides, but we'll continue with these ones. Okay, so some grammar mistakes that we make. A lot of the time we use certain sentences that we shouldn't use, and so I'm just going to correct some of those sentences. So a sentence like, I have a good news for you is wrong. You want to say, I have good news for you. You cannot quantify good news by using the word a, okay? So you can't say I have a good news. I have good news, okay? We learn not at the school, but in life. No, we learn not at school, but in life, okay? He sent a word that he would come soon. No, he sent word that he would come soon. You cannot set a foot in this house. It's wrong. You cannot set foot in this house, okay? He's Daniel in judgment. No, he's a Daniel in judgment, okay? A little spark kindles great fire. No, a little spark kindles a great fire. The clock has struck 7 hours. Wrong. The clock has struck 7, okay? There's no place in the hall. There's no room in the hall is the correct thing. This option is preferable than any other is wrong. This option is preferable to any other is the correct one, okay? Women commit less crimes than men. No, women commit fewer crimes than men, okay? I want a little quantity of milk. No, I want a small quantity of milk, right? Don't go in the sun. No, it's don't go out in the sun. I know him good. Absolutely not. You know that. I know him well. Me, you, and he will do it together. That is wrong. You, he, and I will do it together is the correct way to say it. Exercise is good both for work as well as health. No, exercise is good for work as well as health. You don't need to put both there, okay? She did request for some water. No, sorry, she did a request for some water. Absolutely not. She made a request for some water. Okay. He made an excuse to be late. No, he made an excuse for being late. Okay. She left a bit in a hurry. Absolutely not. She left in a bit of a hurry. Okay. Lagos is coming into rainy weather. Absolutely not. Lagos is coming into the rainy season. It's more like it. Okay. You can try it more. No, you can try a few more times. Okay. He went abroad to further his study. He went to abroad to further his study. Absolutely not. And I've heard people say that quite a lot. It's he went abroad to further his study, okay? You like ice cream, isn't it? No, if you like ice cream, don't you? Okay? Oh, I can't see this properly, so we'll skip it. Don't feel angry with me, I'm just kidding. No, it's don't be angry with me, I'm just kidding. I pity for you. That's horrible. Nigerians say that a lot. It's I pity you. Okay. I've been abroad 10 years. No, I've been abroad for 10 years. Which kind of car? No. Which type of car is it? Okay. How are you this week? No. How have you been this week? Adriana's work is more perfect than Jamiu's work. No. Adriana's work is better than or superior to Jamiu's work. Okay. I don't have enough money to buy new bicycle. No, I don't have enough money to buy a new bicycle. And we do that a lot as Nigerians. We drop our A's a lot. We shouldn't do that. Okay. Wishing you happy belated birthday. That's absolutely wrong. It is wishing you a belated happy birthday. Why? Because the birthday was not belated. It is your wish that was belated, okay? So it is a belated happy birthday, not a happy belated birthday, okay? Why do you need 100? Why do you need 100 naira? No, it's why do you need 100 naira, okay? He has good knowledge of English grammar. The correct thing is he has a good knowledge of English grammar. Either of the plants are equally dangerous. Either of the plants is equally dangerous, okay? Because they're talking about individual plants, all right? Please pretend to not recognize me. I'm sorry, don't pretend to not recognize me. No, it's the other way around. Don't pretend not to recognize me, okay? He neither has he neither has talent nor the desire to learn, as opposed to he has neither talent nor the desire to learn, okay? Only me and my friend were at the concert. Absolutely wrong. Only my friend and I were at the concert, okay? Incorrect. I've passed the hearing test with a high score. No, I've passed the listening test with a high score. It was still bright outside. No, it was still light outside. Who cooked the salad? No, you do not cook salad. Who made the salad? Okay. I get my salary twice a month. No, I get paid twice a month. Why is this? Because a salary can only be paid once a month. Okay. What do you expect in a pig but a grunt? No, it's what do you expect from a pig but a grunt? Be careful, you'll have a cold. No, it's be careful, you'll catch a cold. Okay. Do you have a pencil? Yes, I have it. It's wrong. Do you have a pencil? Yes, I have one. Okay. She's wearing a blue jean. Nigerians say that a lot. No, she's wearing blue jeans. She made a world record. No, she set a world record. We moved house to Ikoyi last month. No, we moved to Ikoyi last month. Kashokbe is our common friend. That's wrong. Kashokbe is our mutual friend. Okay. It was my first time to go abroad. No, it was the first time I had gone abroad. Where is the capital of Plateau? No, the correct thing is what is the capital of Plateau? Okay. Which of these two shirts do you prefer more? No, it's which of these two shirts do you prefer? Okay. You can't prefer more. You can just only prefer something. I've got many homeworks for this week. I've got a lot of homework for this week. After dinner, my mother suggested we go for a walk. Suggested to go for a walk, as opposed to after dinner, my mother suggested going for a walk. He has two son-in-laws is wrong. He has two sons-in-law, okay? Jebako is a matured man of 40. No, it is Jebako is a mature man of 40. So you don't say he's matured. You say he's mature. He has matured. That is correct. He is mature is correct, but not he is matured. No. Since that incident, I followed my friend's advice. No, it's since that incident, I have followed my friend's advice. Okay, I can't see this one. The shop is opened every day is wrong. It is the shop is open every day. Please take note of these ones because a lot of us, I've heard we use the word matured when in the context that we shouldn't, and the word opened in the context that we shouldn't, and there are words like this, other words like this as well. Okay, so the shop is open every day. Okay, thanks for giving me useful advices. Wrong. There's no such word. It's advice. Okay. So thanks for giving me useful advice. Okay. Now let's go back to our homographs. And under homographs we have homophone, homonymh. Sorry. Under the there are three types. There's homograph. There's homonym. There's homophone. Okay. So the homophone has the same sound but different spelling. So like an example of what is here like this, it's no, no, same sound, same pronunciation, 8, ho, ho. The pronunciation are the exact same thing, okay? But the sound, they're spelled differently, okay? And then we have the same sound, the same spelling, but different meaning. So we have can and can. I can do it. He put it in a can. Okay. Ring. I will ring you, or I'm wearing a ring. Okay. I tire easily, or I'm looking for another word for tire. Okay, we'll move past that and get onto it. And then we have bass and bass. So we have bass the fish, and we have bass the guitar. We have bow. Okay, no, these are the ones that have different sounds. Okay, so we have bass and bass, but are spelled the same thing. So sorry, bass, fish, bass, guitar, bow down, bow tie, tear a paper, tear out of the eyes, like teardrop, right? Okay. So yeah, so homographs, this is a word set that can be very confusing. A homograph is a word that has the same spelling as another word, but a different sound and a different meaning. So we have lead, okay, to go in front of, and we have lead, that is the metal, okay? And then we have wind to follow a course that is not straight, and then wind, a gust of air. And then we have bass, a low deep sound, and we have bars, a type of fish. Okay. And then we have homophones. Homophones is a word that has the same sound as another word, but has a different meaning. So they may or may not have the same spelling. And these are the examples like I mentioned before. So you have the 2, which is to bring something, there are two of them, and I will do it too. Or there. He's over there. They live in their home and they're on their way. Okay. And then we have pray and pray. I pray to God. He does not pray on me. Okay. So yeah. I want us to talk about commonly confused words in the context of the homographs, the homophones, and the homonyms. But I think we should do that. We should start with that when we come back from our break. So we have quite an extensive set of slides to go through. So I wonder if you wouldn't mind doing 30 minutes break as opposed to an hour, if that is okay by you. But if you would rather take an hour, I have no objection to that. So please, can you indicate if you're or what your suggestion with regards to this would be. I would prefer we take 30 minutes, but if it's not okay by you, then that's fine as well. So what do you say? Can you hear me? I hope I've not been rambling on.
No, yeah, we
on.
can.
Okay. Okay,
No,
so
you've not.
okay, so are you good? 30 minutes, okay? Is 30 minutes okay?
I think can go with 30 minutes. I don't know of others anyway.
Okay, please let's all indicate if 30 minutes is okay so that we can continue with that, okay?
30
All
minutes.
right, so lovely. So I believe we'll all agree to 30 minutes. So let's do 30 minutes. So that means we'll be back at 12:30 to continue our class. All
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
All right, lovely. Thank you.
Thank you
See
very
you
much.
in 30 minutes.
Okay.
So let's talk about examples, common examples of homonyms in sentences. Okay, so we have this word address, and we have it as address and address, okay? So I give you the address of a good attorney, and the letter was addressed to me. So you can see the difference between the two. All right. So address is the number or the destination or the I don't know why words evade me these days. Your place of residence. Yes, that's your address. Okay. So that's your address. And then address is where something is done in reference to you, so to speak. So when somebody addresses you, or when something is addressed to you, or when you give an address, all right, in like a conference or something like that, like a keynote address, okay? So there's address and there's address. And then there's band. That is a group of musicians, band, and then there's band for packing your hair or things like that, or also band that is around the waist of something, okay? Then we have bats. We have the flying creatures that are bats, and then we have a bat that people use in playing baseball. Or even, okay, yeah, baseball, cricket, and things like that, okay? And then we have match, right? So there's match like matchstick, all right? Do not strike a match. Or we have match when something is something matches another, okay? Like her fingerprints match those found at the scene of the crime. And then we have mean and mean. So an example in a sentence would be, what does this mean? Or we need to find a mean between frankness and rudeness. And that mean is the average, so to speak, okay? And then right and right. So I'm sure I'm right, or take a right turn at the intersection. Ring and ring, okay? So what a beautiful ring. The children sat on the floor in a ring, okay? Rock, rock. So Kamoru formed a rock band with some of his friends while in college, or to build the tunnel, they had to cut through 500 feet of solid rock, okay? Rows and rows. She had a rose garden or sales rose by 20% over the Christmas period. And then spring and spring. I'm sorry to spring it on you, but I've been offered another job, or he was born in the spring of 1944. Stalk, he ate the apple, stalk and all, or snatching up my bag, I stalked out of the room. Well and well, so the conference was well organized, or the dog fell down a well. Clip there are clips from the new James Bond movie, or the wire is held on with a metal clip. The date on the letter was 30th August 1962, or she and Ron go to the park to date. Drop. The apples are beginning to drop from the trees. A single drop of blood splashed onto the floor. So those are the two instances of the word drop. And then fly. A fly was buzzing against the window, or let's fly a kite. Letter. Okay, there's a letter for you, or B is the second letter of the alphabet. Palm. He held the bird gently in the palm of his hand. The coconut palm is a native of Malaysia. Okay. Park. They went for a walk in the park, or to park a car. Two different meanings, same spelling. Point. He was just saying that to prove a point, or everything seemed to point in one direction. Voila. I have a 12-inch roller, or King Dozier was a firm but just roller. Saw. Saw is a tool that has a long blade with sharp points along one of its edges. Or last night I saw a lovely girl. And then there's scale. They entertain on a large scale, or he somehow managed to scale the sheer outside wall of the tower. Ship, the two restaurants on board ship, or the new engine was shipped over from the US. Sink. The ships sink to the bottom of the sea. I felt chained to the kitchen sink. I've heard people pronounce this word sink, the kitchen sink one, as zinc. It's not zinc, it's sink. Tie. She tied her hair into a ponytail. I wear a shirt and a tie to work. Two different meanings. Trip. We went on a trip to the mountains. Someone will trip over that cable. Wave. Huge waves were breaking on the shore, or the people on the bus waved and we waved back. Cool. She swam out into the cool water. When tempers cool, he'll apologize. Duck. Every afternoon, they went to the park to feed the duck, or he had to duck as it came through the door. Fall. September has come and the leaves were starting to, September had come and the leaves were starting to fall. The area is beautiful in the fall. File. Every file in the same disk must have a different name, or we began to file out of the car park. Foot. My foot hurts, or once again, it will be the taxpayer that has to foot the bill. Left. look left and right before you cross the road, or the plane left for Port Harcourt last night. The key was hanging on a nail by the door, or I've broken my nail. Watch. I like watching TV every night. I glanced at my watch. Han. Ayokumi can speak French fluently, or we drank a can of Coke each. And then examples of homophones, common examples are fought and fought, okay? So homophones can refer to, sorry, okay, so homonyms, homophones are a form of homonyms, and these are words that are pronounced the same as other words but differ in meaning and spelling. Okay, so we have fought and fought. An example is just the three of you are going to be holding down the fort tonight. Okay, and he fought many battles with the early Labour Party in Lancaster, and the discrimination against socialist employees were alleged. And then we have foul. He woke up with a foul taste in his mouth, or fish, fowl, and meat. Most decidedly, Southwestern treatment are presented on the menu. Grown. Richard's jokes make you groan rather than laugh, or he had been a grown man with a small but independent income when he had taken Minnie instead of her to wife. Holy. So the priest put some holy water on the child's head, or the report claimed that the disaster was wholly unavoidable. Hour. The interview lasted half an hour, and we showed them some of our photos. I moved to the city 6 years ago. How? I've got something in my eye. I know people's handwritings change as they get older. It was Tony. No, you're wrong. It was Toby. A love of nature links the two poets. They may be eagle-eyed or watch like a lynx. Male. He found a mountain of mail waiting for him. Many women earn less than the male colleague. Meet. Maybe we'll meet again sometime. I gave up eating meat a few months ago. Peace. I wish you would just leave me in peace. Or he broke off a piece of bread and gave it to her. Right. Keep on the right side of the road. Or she had to write a report on the project. Scene. The police soon arrived at the scene of the crime. He crouched down so he couldn't be seen. Ban. Natalie was prettier than her sister. I wish I had known then what I know now. She's weak. Oh, sorry, she's still weak after her illness. He comes to see us once a week. And then we have homographs. So these are pronounced differently, but are spelled the same. So we have agape or agape, okay? So agape is mouth wide open in wonder. Agape is sacrificial love. We have buzz, a type of fish. We have bass, low, deep voice or low register musical instrument. Okay, an example is after catching the bass from the river, Joe mimicked the fish by talking in a deep bass voice. Bow. Bow, a device used in an arrow, a curved shape or type of knot, or bow, the front of a ship, the polite gesture of bending at the waist. So an example would be, after shooting the bullet with his bow, the archer made a grand bow to the audience. And then there's close and there's close, okay? Close is to shut, like to shut a door, close the door. And close is being nearby, okay? So you say, as she left the house to go to the store close to the house, the woman was careful to close and lock the door. So you cannot use these two interchangeably, okay? You say close for something being nearby, and you say close to shut something, okay? That was close. I almost closed the door on my fingers, okay? There's entrance and then there's entrance, okay? Entrance and entrance. Entrance is the entryway or the act of entering. Entrance is to to be filled with wonder or delight. So the museum display will entrance the visitors the moment they come through the entrance, okay? And then we have lead and we have lead, okay? Lead, a type of metal, and lead to stand in front. So an example would be the city took the lead by getting the lead out of the municipal plumbing. We have objects and we have objects. I object to being given this object. Sewer, a drain for waste, or sower, a person who sows. And this definition also applies to someone who scatters seeds, okay? So the sewer, the sower tripped and dropped the needlework into the sewer, okay? We have wind and we have wind, okay? So wind is the moving of air. Wind is to twist or wrap around. For example, the wind blew softly as we watched the river wind its way through the valley. And then we have wound and we have wound. Wound being an injury and wound being the past tense of wind, okay? The wound was caused by the rope wound too tightly. And then we have homographs, okay? So we have absent and we have absent. If you're absent more than 5 times, you fail the course. He absented himself from the office for the day. And then we have abstracts and abstracts, okay? The research shows that preschool children are capable of thinking in abstract terms. Abstracts of about 300 words should be submitted to the conference committee who will decide which papers to accept. There's accent and there's accent, okay? In the word dinner, the accent is on the first syllable. The women accent their eyes with makeup. Address and address. I can give you the address of a good attorney. Address the letter to me. Advocate or advocate. Those who advocate for doctor-assisted suicide say the terminally ill should not have to suffer, or she's a passionate advocate of natural childbirth. Attribute or attribute. Some economists attribute much of the rising wage Some economists attribute much of the rising wage inequality in this country to the shift in favor of the most skilled workers. And she spent most of the interview describing the company's attributes to me. Back, I'll be back in a minute, shows the one who had fired him from his first job back in South Africa. Anna stood with her back to the window. Ball. Bounce the ball and try and hit it over the net, or his hands were balled into fists. Band. The band was playing old Omawumi songs. She always ties her hair back in a band. Many insects are banded black and yellow. Bank. I work for a bank. He jumped in and swam to the opposite bank. Bar. She was sitting at the bar. I ate a bar of chocolate. We've talked about bars before and these. We've talked about bat and bat. Okay, so I can't see a blessed thing without my glasses, or they brought the children to Jesus and he blessed them. Bow. This is done with a formal bow to the king or queen. She has a red bow in her head. Capital and capital, Ibadan is the capital of Oyo State. You should write your name in capital letters. Capture. The robbery was captured on police video cameras. The two soldiers somehow managed to avoid capture. Chest. Her heart was pounding in her chest. In a family, we should have a medicine chest. I'd like to see a clip from the new James Bond movie. The wire is held on with a metal clip. The cock crowed as morning approached. He cocked a quizzical eyebrow at her. She lives in a commune. It's a place to commune with other women. The students' rooms were compact with desk, bed, and a closet built in. A compact was negotiated between the company and the union. Compound. The sulfur dioxide is a compound of sulfur and oxygen. A compound sentence contains two or more clauses. Compress. Snow falling on the mountain sides is compressed into ice. Or compress. Apply a cold compress to the injury. Conduct or conduct. We are conducting a survey of consumer attitudes towards organic food. we're conducting a survey of consumer attitudes towards organic food, or the senator's conduct is being investigated by the ethics committee. Conflict and conflict. Marx points out the potential conflicts below the surface of society. In other ways, the activities of the councils tend to conflict with regional policy and weaken its effectiveness or effect, sorry. Young men were conscripted into the army and forced to fight in Algeria. Conscript. The average number of conscripts in training has fallen from 80,000 to 15,000 conscripts. Conscript, conscripts. Consorts and consorts, okay? Both can take the new consorts, but their only daughter can be the new everqueen, or he's known to have consorted with prostitutes. They constructed a shelter out of fallen branches. Construct. The lists of constructs can be endless. Constructs. There's content and there's content. The content of something, and someone was very content. Contest and contest. Stone decided to hold a contest to see who could write the best song. His wife is contesting a seat on the council. Contrast and contrast, okay? While there are similarities in the two cultures, there are also great contrasts. Her actions and her promises contrasted sharply. The stocks can be easily converted to cash, or she's a convert. She was convicted of shoplifting. There was a report on the news about an escaped convict. So convicts and convicts. She swam out into the cool water, or when tempers had cooled, he apologized. Court. 4 people will appear in court today charged with fraud. His campaign team has assiduously courted the media. Date. The date on the letter was 21st March 1978. She and Rogba go to the park to date. Dear. His sister was very dear to him. Come along, my dear, take a seat. Deserts. The area of the country is mostly deserts. The village was deserted. So deserts, deserts. Most babies can digest a wide range of food easily. If you'd rather receive your meal in large batches than have it trickle through, request a digest where available. Discount and discount. Employees can buy books at a discount. We cannot discount the possibility of further strikes. You need to do more exercise. We're having a do to celebrate his 30th birthday. Down. The sun was going down and it would soon be dark. He downed, pardon that error, he downed the coffee in one gulp. Drop. The apples were beginning to drop from the trees. A single drop of blood splashed on the floor. Effects. My parents' divorce had a big effect on me. Many parents lack the confidence in their ability to effect change in the child's behavior. Exploits and exploits. Opposition leaders were quick to exploit government embarrassment over the incident. His courage and exploits were legendary. Extracts and extracts. They used torture to extract information about their families. I've only seen a short extract from the film. Fall. Okay, we've mentioned this before. September had come and the leaves were starting to fall, or the area is beautiful in the fall. Then fan. He's a big fan of Fatai rolling dollar. He's turning on the electric fan. I'm early. My watch must be fast. Daniel drank some orange juice to break his 3-week fast. File. Every file must be in the same disk. Sorry, every file on the, sorry about this. And then they began to file out. So you understand what I'm trying to do anyways. And I think we've also actually mentioned it before. Yes, Michael, that's very correct. Okay. The project will go only ahead if they can raise the necessary finance, or he took a job to finance his stay in Germany. Fine. If you want to use cheese instead of chicken, that's fine. Or offenders will be liable to a heavy fine. Fits. His clothes did not fit him very well, or you must be very fit if you do so much running. Float. I wasn't sure if there would be if the raft would float, or we stood and watched the carnival float drive past. Fly, we've already mentioned this. Okay, the pilot was instructed to fly the plane to Montreal airport, or a fly was buzzing against the window. My foot hurts, or once again, it will be the taxpayer who has to foot the bill. Frequent or frequent. So she was a frequent visitor to the house, or it's a mistake here. But she frequents the local bar, okay? Firm. I'm working for a firm of accountants, or these peaches are still firm. Incense or incense, okay? Incense burned in the corner of the room, or why do you reckon the decision to incense the workforce? Incline or incline, okay? I incline to the view that we should take no action at this stage. The council houses followed the curve of the road, which wound up a slight incline. Then increase, the population will increase from 1.2 million to 1.8 million, and increase, there's been a marked increase in the use of firearms. They had to insert a tube in his mouth to help him breathe, or this insert fits inside any style of shoe. I have never had someone insult me this much, or the boy shouted an insult at the police. The new program should help solve some of the problems of data interchange between companies with different computer systems, or there were two identical copies of each object that one would interchange with regular, interchange them between regular trials. We're not on intimate terms with our neighbors, or he was a wartime minister and intimate of Churchill. There's something about me that intrigues her. The young heroine steps into a web of intrigue in the academic world. The treaty was declared invalid because it had not been ratified. She had been a delicate child and her friends had treated her as an invalid. They must invite me to go to Paris with them, or thanks for the invite. We have learned different responses to anger, or I learned a lot from my father. The plain leaves at 12:30. Add a few leaves of fresh basil to the salad. Okay, we've done this. I've done this. Yes, we used to live in London. The club has live music most nights. For the character to know and demonstrate their doom, their body must physically manifest the flaw through an impairment. And I can't help seeing the manifest in any case. I've always been interested. We've done March, we've done mean. He said he might come tomorrow. I pushed the rock with all my might. There were all kinds of thoughts running through my mind. I hope you don't mind the noise. I'll be back in a few minutes. You'd better minute that point. Minute that point. There was hardly any traffic, just a few parked cars and a cluster of mopeds around the door of the bar opposite. Or the week he died, we all sat around and moped. So moped and moped. The key was hanging on a nail by the door. I've broken my nail. Okay, I've said that. I read a lot of novels. What a novel idea. My phone number is 2666988, or I number her among my closest friends. The object of the game is to improve children's math skills, or his supporters will certainly object if he is fired. The new law claims a criminal offense to drink alcohol in public places, or he played offense for the Chicago Bulls. Palm. He held the bird gently in the palm of his hand, or the tropical tree grows near beaches or in deserts with long, straight trunk and large pointed heels. At the top is the coconut palm. Pen. Write your essays in pen, not pencil, and you should pen a letter to the local paper. They have a pet dog, or he did not pet it or stroke it. He stood staring. Plain. The facts sorry, the plain fact is that nobody really knows, or the grassy plain gave way to an excessive swamp. Play. You'll have to play inside today. Or on the next play, Johnson ran 15 yards for a touchdown. He's just saying that to prove a point. Everything seemed to point in one direction. Then pop. The 8 compilations range from teen pop to classical, or I'll pop over to see you this evening. Present or present. Okay, what can I get him for a birthday present? Or you've got to, okay, you've got to forget the past and start living in the present. And of course, there's a third one. I'd like to present you with this. Produce and produce. They were unable to produce any statistics to verify their claims, or the shop sells only fresh local produce. Projects or project. The final term will be devoted to project work, or they sought advice on how to project a more positive image of their company. Punch. These bullets can punch a hole through 20 mm steel plate, or I managed to land a punch on his chin. Quarter. It's a 12:15. I peel and quarter an apple. Now, I'd like to say that I hope you also are noting my pronunciation in all of these things. So it's not only about the, the context in which they're used, but also how they're pronounced, okay? There's a race between the 2 runners of the club, and we race each other back to the car. Some children can read and write before they go to school. I was having a quiet read when the phone rang. Some parts of the country fell into rebel hands. Most teenagers find something to rebel against. She could not recall his name, but she has amazing powers of recall. He has carried out extensive research into renewable energy sources. We have to research how the product will actually be used. She hopes to resume work after the baby is born. He gave a resume of the year's work and wished the society another successful year. Government forces moved in to take the city, to retake the city. We had to do a retake before we got it right. I'm sure I'm right. Take a right turn at the intersection. What a beautiful ring. The children sat on the floor in a ring. She has a rose garden. They rose from the table. She sat in a row at the back of the room. A row has broken out over education. I have a 12-inch ruler. Yes, we're still on homonyms. King Adefolabumi was a firm but just ruler. A saw is a tool that has a long blade with sharp, okay, we've talked about this. And then there's scale. So they entertain on a large scale. If someone managed to scale the share outside of the wall, the fish has many scales. The scales fell from their eyes. You measure with a scale. So you can see that there are 5 scales that mean different things. Second, this is the second time it's happened. and water flows at about 1.5 meters per second. Yes, the student had to recap his experience as teacher did the recap. That's lovely. Yes. The school is housed in 2 separate buildings. Stir the sauce constantly so that it does not separate. Okay, we're done with homonyms, homographs, and homophones, and we're now going to figures of speech, meaning, types, and examples. So what are figures of speech? We're all accustomed to the figures of speech in the English language, but we do not use them as often as we should, okay? So what's an example of a figure of speech? Life is beautiful. Okay, that's an example. Now you want to then make it even more colorful, and you say life is as beautiful as a sunset. Now this figure of speech that you have used is referred to as a simile. Okay, and what I mean, well, there's no need to go here because I just explained it. So these are the types of and the types and examples of figures of speech that exist. We have simile, we have metaphor, we have personification, we have hyperbole, we have irony / sarcasm, we have paradox, we have oxymoron, we have pun, we have the synecdoche, we have the metonymy, we have the euphemism, we have the alliteration, we have the epigram, and we have the litotes, okay? And then we have what climax, anticlimax, or basis. We have the exclamation, we have interrogation, tautology / guionism, we have onomatopoeia, we have the circumlocution, we have the transferred epithet, and we have the antithesis. Okay, so an example of a simile is just a minute, please. Sorry about that. Okay, so like I was saying, simile is the literary device that sorry. So similarly, this literary device focuses on the use of like and as to express the speaker's message. For example, Kevin is as blind as a bat. The mistake is as clear as crystal. She is as cold as ice. These are examples of simile. Okay? Then we have metaphor. Here, the message is stated as it is, okay? So the speaker's message is blunt and makes no use of like or as. So for instance, he's the lion at home, she is wild, the lady is quiet, okay? And then we have personification, okay? And so the personification, it means that you're giving human attributes and characters to objects. Okay, so an example would be the sun wept today. The clouds cried in me. The ground looks thirsty. This basically means that, okay, the sun wept today is it probably rained. The same thing with crowds cried on me, it rained. And then the ground looks thirsty. That means that it's dry, you know. So that's what you're doing with that. And then the hyperbole, this is like a deliberate overstatement. So it's an exaggeration, okay? It exaggerates things. So for instance, you say things like, oh, his hair's as white as snow. My mom is going to kill me today. Today is the worst day of my life. You know, I'd rather we didn't use words like that, but yeah, that's what a hyperbole is, okay? And then we have the irony and sarcasm, you know, and we all know what a sarcasm is, what sarcasm is. So you can imagine a policeman being robbed, or a hairstylist who has her hair unkempt, or a fire station on fire, you know, the irony. Okay, and then paradox is when you use two opposite words, particularly striking opposite words in a sentence, like I used earlier, less is more, or shame is pride, or whatever you do in life will be insignificant, but it's very important that you do it. So you can see the paradox, very striking there. Then the oxymoron, this combines two seemingly contradictory words for sharp emphasis. So an example of that would be darkest light, loving hate, humble pride, okay? A pun, that's a play on various meanings of a particular word. So that's why you say something and you say things like no pun intended, like with nimble souls, I have a soul of lead, or the Constitution is against prostitution and the Congress is against progress, okay? Or is life worth living? It depends on the liver. So you see what they did with those words there? Yeah. And then there's the synecdoche. And the synecdoche, how do we clearly differentiate between paradox from oxymoron? Okay, so I mean, I'm going to still talk about paradox as we go on. So, I mean, oxymoron as we go on. So just go ahead with me, please, okay? Because there's still quite a bit to get done. Like I said, okay, the synecdoche is the using of a part to illustrate a whole. So it can be said to be the understanding of one thing by means of another. So an example of that is all hands on deck. Heads turned when she walked in, or all eyes were on him. All eyes were on him, okay? And then we have the metonymy, okay? The metonymy is usually meant for a change of name, okay? So it serves as a substitute of the thing that the name was meant for. So something like, oh, the pen is mightier than the sword, which means that carefully thought out words are better than weapons, okay? And then we have from the cradle to the grave, which means that from childhood or infancy to death. And then lend me your ears, meaning pay attention. Well, yes, they do sound like idioms, okay? Then we have the euphemism. We have euphemism. This literary device puts unpleasant and disagreeable in an agreeable and pleasant form. Okay, so how Her stepfather put her in a family way. Her pregnancy was terminated. He passed away last night. Now, all these things are words that, you don't, you're trying to minimize the lewdness and the vulgarity of the situation by using better words, okay? Then we have the alliteration. Alliteration is a figure of speech in which two consecutive words that begin with the same consonant sound are used, okay? So kindly keep the kettle clean for the king. You see what we did there? Kindly keep the kettle clean for the king. Or 4 fabulous fish and flowers filled File's farm, okay? And these are also used in tongue twisters, like Betty Butter has butter, but she said, this butter is bitter. If I put it in my butter, it will make my butter bitter, bitter than the better butter, okay? So that's what an alliteration is. And then we have the epigram. This is a brief pointed saying which couples words that contradict each other to prove a point, okay? So when you say something like, this child is the father of the man, it sounds very odd, okay? Fools rush in where angels fear to tread, okay? And then we have silence is sometimes more eloquent than words. And then we have the litotes, okay? And this is the opposite of the hyperbole. Here, an affirmative is conveyed by negation of the opposites, okay? So an example is, he's no dullard, Sarah is no fool, you're not looking bad, okay? That's the litotes. And then we have climax. Okay, so this is the arrangements in which the words, the phrases, the clauses, all the ideas are arranged in order of increasing importance. So an example of that would be, I came out from the pot to the frying pan, now I'm in the fire. You see what happened? There's a progression, okay? Look up in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Superman. So you can see that there's also a progression there. And then what a piece of work, man. How noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in action, like an angel. There is a progression, okay? And then we have the anticlimax, which is also the bathos. And this is the opposite of the climax, obviously, where rather than use an ascending progression, now there's a descending progression, okay? So he's a lawyer, a statesman, and a drunk. You see what I'm saying? And then what? She has a husband, a child, and few clothes. And then humans are so great, so vast, so foolish. So there's that. And then we have the exclamation, which is used to express strong feelings, okay? So, yeah, how he fell, oh death, where is your sting? Or, oh fall on them death, shrink their soul, leave them with nothing for they are wasted. Or, oh lift her as a wave, a leaf, a cloud, she falls upon the thorns of life, she bleeds. So that's what exclamation sounds like. And then we have interrogation. Okay, so this is a rhetorical mode of affirming or denying something more strongly than it could be done in ordinary language. For instance, it does. Exclamation does need an exclamation mark, okay? Yeah, an example of interrogation is, who is here so rude? that would not be a Roman. Okay? And who is here so vile that will not love his country? Can anyone swim who is not from the riverine area? Interrogation. And then we've talked about tautology. We'll say it again. It repeats the same facts or idea in different words. So it's better to live than not die. I'd rather kill myself than commit suicide. It is the privilege and birthright of every man to express his ideas without any fear. Privilege and birthright. And then we have the onomatopoeia. And that simply means what? The mimicry of words. An example of an onomatopoeia is splash, drizzle, drip, and spray as it relates to the sounds of water. We have giggle, we have growl, we have grunt, we have bawl, we have blurt, we have belch as it relates to vocal sounds. We have boom, bang, clap, jingle, click as it relates to collision sounds. We have bark, buzz, hiss, and meow as it relates to animal sounds. And then we have swoosh, whoosh, whiz, whisper, and gasp as it relates to air sounds. Then we have the circumlocution. And the circumlocution talks about the way of expressing a fact or an idea in a roundabout or indirect way. So instead of stating something clearly, you use a verbose of words, or you talk in circles, basically not going to the point and beating about the bush. So an example of that is the swirling bountiful liquid of earth, which is actually just referring to the sea. The light, colorless sustainer of humans, which is referring to air or breath. Our Father who art in heaven, which is referring to God, and you know who, which is referring to whoever. Me, you, whoever, okay? And then we have the transferred epithets, okay? This is qualifying object that is transferred to a person or a thing. So you have something like sleepless nights, scornful eye, shining sun. And then we have the antithesis. The antithesis is striking opposition of the contrast of words made in a single sentence. So for instance, you have the phrase or the sentence, the earth human to forgive is divine, or man proposes, God disposes, or we have love is an ideal thing, marriage is a real thing, okay? Now let's have some fun with tongue twisters like what I read before. Please, can you unmute the people so that I can ask them to say these tongue twisters for me. And as we do that, please raise your hand before you speak so that we're not all speaking at the same time. So can somebody repeat after me when I've said this? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. A peck of pickled pepper Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Can somebody say this too? Please raise your hand if you want to attempt this. Anyone? Nobody. Wow. Are you afraid? Are you afraid? Or is nobody? Or can nobody hear me? Okay, please indicate
We
if you
can
can
hear
hear me.
you, ma'am.
Okay.
We can hear you.
So
Some
if
people's
you
hands
cannot
are
hear
up.
me, I can't see their hands up. Oh. Okay,
I have
Mercy,
3
can you?
hands.
Okay, please, can you tell each of them to pick the people one after the other so that they can attempt,
Okay,
please. I can't see their
okay,
hands up.
okay, no problem, ma. Okay, let's take Morerinayo Obe. You can go ahead.
Moremi,
Boma, please unmute her.
Okay. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers that Peter Piper picked?
Lovely. That's lovely. Can somebody else attempt it?
Okay, Onyedika, please take it up.
Okay. Peter Papa pick a peck of picky peck, a peck of picky peck paper
Ah,
Peter
pika. That one says, okay. Can somebody else attempt, please? Anybody else?
Okay, so we have Michael Pleasant. Michael,
Okay, Michael, can I hear
Pleasant.
from you? Michael, are you there?
Boma,
Okay.
please unmute him. Okay, please go ahead.
Okay. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where is the peck of pickled peppers that Peter Piper picked?
Okay, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay, let's try this. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he? Can somebody say it? Whose hands are up? Mercy.
Okay, no one for now. Okay, let me give a trial. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy was okay. Sorry, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy, was he?
Okay, not bad at all. Okay, can we try
Okay,
this?
ma, you
All I
have
want
a
is
hand.
okay,
Oh, okay.
Shuaib. Okay,
Yes,
Shuaib.
Shwai.
Okay, Shuaib, try this one. Let me say it and then you'll say after me. All I want is a proper cup of coffee made in proper coffee pot. I may be off my dots, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pots. They're no use to me if I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper cup of coffee pot. I'll have a cup of tea. Okay, try it. Try it. I'm waiting.
All I want is proper coffee made in proper coffee pot. I may be off of my dots, but I want a cup of coffee from a proper coffee pot. Tin coffee pots and iron coffee pot, they are no use to me if I can't have a proper cup of coffee in a proper copper coffee pot. I will have a cup of tea.
Well done, sir. You have tried. God is good. Okay. And who wants to try?
Okay.
How much would
Morerinayo.
let me read it out first, and then Moremi can then say it after me. How much wood would the woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck he would as much as he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood. Okay? Let's have it. Let's have it.
Okay. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? He would chuck he would as much as he could and chuck as much wood as a woodchuck would if a woodchuck could chuck wood.
Beautiful, Mariah. You did very well. Lovely, 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 lovely. Okay. We have come to the end, apparently. It didn't take as long as I thought it would. So, yes, let me address the question asked by, I can't remember who asked the question now, but she was asking what the difference between an oxymoron and a paradox is. So an oxymoron usually uses two words in one most of the time. So a word like let me see, bittersweet, right? Bittersweet is an oxymoron, okay? As opposed to a paradox that uses two separate words, okay? Two separate words like organized chaos, okay? So I don't know if that makes sense to you, but yeah, I think I should have answered your question. Okay, so do you have any more questions before I take my leave? I'll be happy to answer your questions. Are there questions that I'm not seeing? Okay. Oh, how do you
Any
pronounce God?
question?
It's pronounced, yeah, I can see the questions now. It's pronounced God, G-O-D, God. God. It's not God and it's not God. It's not like security guard. No, it's God. So the O is said at the back of your throat, okay? At the back of your throat. You're saying the O at the back of your throat. So it's pronounced God, 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 God. So it's like you're saying O, but at the back of your throat, so you're not bringing it to the front of your mouth. So it's God, okay? Any other questions? Yes, I want to address this as well. So any word that ends with ing, right? The G is always silent. So you don't say sing, you say sing. That means that you're saying G at the back of your throat, okay? So it's sing, it's king, it's watering, it's thinking, it's thing. It is not sing or king, okay? How do you pronounce what? I thought I saw someone ask something just now. Okay, so the pronunciation of that word is sarcasm. 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 Okay. I don't know why my computer is acting all silly. Okay. I'm trying to look for the other questions. I don't think there are any other. Okay, yes, sarcasm. Thanks so much. Yes, that's okay. You can say that. Thanks so much. Thank you very much. Many thanks. I'm grateful. Yeah, you can say that. Any other questions, please, before I leave? Any other questions? ING,
Please,
Bing. It's
Mercy,
Bing.
Boma, please make me a host. Allow me share my screen, please. Mercy and Boma, thank you very much, Feisha, Mrs. Odejide, thank you. What is the ing? What about Bing? Somebody has something to say. Michael has
I
what?
just
What is
responded
this?
to him.
What's to
I
that,
just
Abby? All
responded
right, good.
to
All
Bing.
right.
Bing.
Thank you very much. A round of applause. A round of applause. Thank you very much. This brings us to the end of our English class for this semester. you'll be provided. Michael says he did not get your reply or your response.
Okay, I said it
Michael
is still.
says, okay,
Can you
go
hear me?
ahead.
Can Michael hear me now?
Yes,
It's Bing.
yes.
It's Bing. It's Bing. It is not Bing. It's Bing. Like G at the back of your throat. Bing.
Almost like bin, right?
Almost
So what
like
the
Bing.
G?
But
All
then the
right. So
G
the
is
G
at the
does not
back
come
of.
out as Bing. Like
No, it doesn't.
we don't fully pronounce the G.
Exactly.
All right. Okay.
So
Good.
somebody, okay, so
Thank
you
you.
didn't,
Okay.
sorry about, somebody asked about them
What's a
clearly
paradox versus
differentiate between a
oxymoron?
paradox and an oxymoron. And I did respond, but maybe you didn't quite understand it. So let me give you an example of an oxymoron. You have words like accurate estimate, alone together, awfully good, bittersweet, climb down, and things like that. Those are oxymorons, okay? But then if you want to talk about paradox, then you want to use, let me see, a word, because a paradox will then focus on the contrast between two complete ideas, like, let me see, I'm trying to look for the exact, awfully good, for instance, okay? So yeah, but they're very similar. They're very similar. So, and a lot of times there's not a lot of value in trying to differentiate them much because they can be used interchangeably. I hope that's fine.
All right. Once
Thank you.
again, thank you very much. Thank you. A round of applause. A round of applause in the chat room, everybody. A round of applause. Thank you very much. You're all going to be given your tests, and we're trying to benchmark a lot of what we're doing here, once again, against international standards. So a lot of the tests you're going to be doing, they're going to be tied to what people will ask you during like an IELTS type exam. So that's the kind of test you're going to be given to you so that you can practice, so that one day if you need to do IELTS, you're guaranteed to be able to have an extremely high score in IELTS. So we're going to give you a lot of tests, and the test will be, they will test your written English and your spoken English. So we're going to use a lot of materials from IELTS and language certs, which are international exams. So when you're getting ready, when we're provisioning all those tests, know that it's those same kinds of things that people will ask you during your IELTS, whenever it is that you need to do it. So that's what we're going to do. Once again, a big round of applause. Thank you very much. We're doing, so I mean, we've made some changes to what we're going to be doing over the next how many weeks now? Over the next 8 weeks, we're going to be doing something called CompTIA Tech Plus, everybody. We're going to be doing something called CompTIA Tech Plus. It's a brand new curriculum, and it's a professional curriculum. And for anybody who plans to do IT, if that is your career path, you want to become an IT professional, this is what it is that we're going to be doing over the next 8 weeks. So we're going to be covering that material. So if you're on your phone, you're on the internet, you're on your computer, look out for something. Go type CompTIA Tech Plus. All right? Type out something called CompTIA Tech Plus. That's the material we're going to be using. And this material covers all the things we need to do for the people that are doing software engineering. And also, please, can you hear me mute Michael? Michael, that your mic is on, so, and you're having conversations. Oh, so you're distracting me, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. So for the people that are doing networking and information security, and also for the people that are doing software development, and people who plan to be in IT, you want to become an IT professional, you're looking for a remote job as an IT professional, this is what we're going to be doing over the next 8 weeks. For 8 straight weeks, this is what we're going to be doing. It covers any and every, and even beyond what is in the curriculum. Covers any and everything, and even beyond what is in the curriculum in itself. So this is going to lay the great foundation for you. If you understand and you're truly able to demonstrate the things that will be done under this, there is no reason why come January you would not have a job. There is absolutely no reason why come January you will not have a job. There's in IT is what I mean. I mean a job in IT. We will, if you are able to demonstrate adequately, all right, the concepts that are inside of here. Once again, go and check it out. It's a brand new curriculum. It's new. It's global. This is the global benchmark for going into information technology. So for everybody that is registered for software engineering and for networking and information security or networking and cybersecurity, this is what you're going to be doing for the next 8 weeks. So if you have friends, you have cousins, you have enemies, you have anybody at all that is interested in going into IT, this is what they need to do. This is how they need to start. This is what they need to be involved with. We will share the links. People will be able to register. We'll share this flyer and all that. For the great people that are doing business informatics, you'll only be in that class on the 12th. So that means next week, Saturday. But after that, you're going to have to go into the business informatics side of things, because in that business informatics, we're still going to do entrepreneurship. We're still going to do introduction to business. We're still going to do accounting. We're still going to do economics. We're still going to do public administration. And we're still going to do something called business math. So for the people that are doing business informatics, you will be a part of it, of the class, of the live class. Let me be very specific, of the live class, because the sessions are recorded. So that means that even after the sessions are recorded, that means even after, even though you've gone into your business informatics class, you can always go back to some of these things. But for the next 8 weeks, this is what it is that we're going to be doing. It's a free class. You can speak to people and you can publicize this. We're covering the entire Computer Tech Plus material this year, because we really need to lay a strong foundation for all the people that are going to be doing software development and for all the people that are going to be doing networking and information security. Next semester, we're going to do CompTIA A+. We're going to do something like this for CompTIA A+, and that's important. So please, let's get ready. So next week, we will do the first 2 chapters of the book for CompTIA Tech Plus. We would also share the book with you. It's not a secret. But for what will happen is, for the people in business informatics, you can go back to watch the recorded sessions. But for the people that are registered here for software engineering and for networking and information security, this is your Saturday for the next 8 weeks. This is your Saturday, and I hope you will take this very seriously and that you will be able to follow through with it. Your exam, your test, they're all going to be built around these topics in themselves. So once again, thank you very much, everybody. It's definitely been great talking to you, but this is a big deal. And that's why we put it there. It's for all existing and even intending IT professionals. And you're going to be taught by people that who do this for a living. Some of the people that are going to be training you, this is what it is that they do for a living. And I'm certain that you will enjoy these sessions in themselves. So once again, thank you very much, everyone. God bless you. Have a great remaining part of your weekend. Mercy, over to you.
Thank you, boss. Please, let's appreciate our boss, the proprietor of Transformation College of Business and Technology. Please, let's applaud him for that. Thank you so much, sir. All right, everyone. So we've come to the end of today's class and a few announcements. Like I said earlier, if you are yet to pay your acceptance fee, please refer to your admission letter and do the necessary so that you can have your ID cards, okay? So you can see in your attendance that there is a space where you have to fill in student number. And if you have your ID cards, you can get the student number from there. And for those of you who do not have one, please go ahead and pay your acceptance fee so you can have your ID cards. And then also still talking about the attendance, some of you, you give the names that we do not understand. Please fill your correct name as we all know, okay? So that we will not be confused about your names. All right? Please follow us on all of our social media handles on Facebook, Instagram, X, that's Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and engage us on all of our social media posts, okay? Mention us, like our post. Okay, so that's all for now. And then for your, like I said earlier on the group, there will be a short video that will be sent to you so you can navigate on how to get the access to Saturday classes link, okay? So that is going to be done within the week. And if you know you joined us late, please go to the YouTube, our YouTube channel and follow all the courses because that will not be an excuse if you find any question in the exams. It will not be an excuse that you were not in class. Okay, so that's why you have your study materials and then the YouTube recording. All right, so I believe that is understood. All right, so during the
Sorry,
week,
Mercy, thank you very much. Mercy, please, in the chat room, I have put the link to the book in itself. The book we're going to be using for all the people for over the next 8 weeks. I'll put the link in there. I've even put the outline for that class. I have included it in the chat room. So please have a look at it, everybody. That's the book, and that's the outline that we're going to be using over the next 8 weeks. So once again, for the people who really, that is not for the weak at heart. That's why it's not for the people. It's not. I mean, it's for somebody who really wants to do IT. It is core information technology. It is all right. So, and that's why the people in business informatics were only involving you in the initial part of it. After that, you go to focus on the things you need to do. But for the people who really want to become IT professionals, who are looking for both local, international, and remote jobs in IT, that is what you need to focus on in there. So please, I've shared the link with you. It's not an excuse. Some of you are very diligent. You can start reading ahead of time. Some of you are extremely diligent, so you can actually just start studying ahead of time. So, but I've shared those two. I've shared the link and I've shared a PDF document in the chat room. So please have a look at it as it is. Once again, thank you very much. Thank you.
all right, thank you, boss. So like he said, the link is going to be shared on your different departmental groups. Okay, so you have nothing to worry about. Please, there is a feedback form on the chat board. Please do well to fill the feedback form. We want to hear your feedback on today's lecture, all right? So the link to the feedback has been dropped. Okay, so for business informatics, I'm still going to drop the link.
No. It's not. Hold on. Sorry. So business informatics, right? It's for half of the curriculum, or let me put it properly, 2/3 or 3/4 is probably the right percentage of the curriculum for business informatics is business. Remember, the course is called business and information technology. That's what the course is called. So about half of it, or so not half, 3/4 of it, to be very precise, is based on business. About 1/4 of it is technology. So once again, if you look at my screen so that there is no confusion here, this is what business informatics people, this is what they're here to do. This is what they're doing the whole of their year one. Now you will see that in that year one, they have introduction to computing, they have computer applications, that is number 2. Okay. And then in that second semester, they also are meant to take a course called Introduction to System Analysis and Design. That means 3 of their 18 courses are in IT. The remaining are all in business. So you can see accounts, or accounting, you can see economics, you can see business, you can see management, you can see public administration, and you can even see things like citizenship. So my point is, for people who are registered for business informatics, is 3/4 of it is business. 1/4 of it is technology. If you come here, this is the second year for people who are doing business informatics. Once again, in the first semester of year one, even they are going to be doing the introduction to computer programming. Even they are going to be doing data management. Am I right? They're also going to do business computer applications. That's about 3 already in first semester. If you go to second semester, they're also going to do web development. They're also going to do principles of e-commerce. They're also going to do fundamentals of computer networking. So that means their year 2, they're taking about 6 core IT courses. But you can see that they're doing beyond IT. That's why the course is called Business and IT, Business Informatics. You can see law, you can see public finance, you can see principles of management, you can see cost accounting, you can see HR, you can see procurement and purchasing. So that's the situation. Business and informatics is 3/4 business, 1/4 of it is IT. I hope that brings the clarity to it. But for the IT people, they are in here for IT proper. They want to be IT specialists. They want to be software developers. They want to be networking engineers. They want to be cybersecurity professionals. That's what it is that those other people, that's what they want. They want to be in IT. They want to play a function in the IT department. So, but the business informatics, they can be in IT department, or they can be in any other department. They can be in HR, they can be in procurement, they can be in admin. But for the people that are doing software development and that are doing networking, the ideal department for them to work in an organization is in the information technology department. But for others doing business informatics, they can work in supply chain, they can work in marketing, they can work anywhere across the entire organization. Once again, I hope that clarifies it. Thank you. Have a great weekend, everybody. I think we're done. Please check the chat room again. I have included something here. Messi, what you can also do is that you can send the link and even this attachment, you can share it on the WhatsApp group, you can send it to different people as it is. Over the next 8 weeks, we're going to be covering that curriculum end to end. We're going to be using the book, and we're going to be following this curriculum in itself. Once again, it's primarily for the core people doing software development and for the people who want to be cybersecurity specialists.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Buzz. All right, everyone. So this class goes every Saturday by 10 a.m. Please don't be late, all right? Okay. Do have a very wonderful weekend. Bye for now.